We're tracking the investigation into a southern Kentucky school bus crash where several children were injured.
And we could be tracking a few flakes coming up this weekend. It's the last weekend before Christmas, so it'll put you in the spirit. I'll have those details coming up.
And President Obama gives his final news conference of 2014, where he warns North Korea of retaliation over the Sony hack.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Barbara Bailey in for Jennifer today. The weekend before Christmas is upon us, and the weather is looking okay for the most part. This is a live look of Triangle Park in downtown Lexington, where the weather has been cold, but the sun is shining. Let's check in now with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. Good to see the sun.
It is good to see the sun, especially heading into this final weekend before Christmas. On our side of town, you can actually see the sunshine itself, the actual sun in the sky peeking through the clouds. It's up in the corner there, the right-hand corner of your screen there. You see the sunshine and, of course, penetrating through some of the clouds. Now, we look at current conditions here in Lexington, 33 degrees, so the sunshine is not warming us up a whole lot. But at least we're not dealing with some strong gusty winds, which would make it feel a whole lot worse out there. Defenders scanning the skies and not tracking anything at this point in time. However, once we cross over into the day tomorrow, we'll likely get in on a little more action. Some southern moisture will likely start to sweep through southern parts of Kentucky, maybe a few flakes. This is the same system we were tracking early on this week that had all kinds of potential. So for the final weekend before Christmas, we're tracking a few flakes for you on your Saturday. Again, it's not a big deal, but we'll have some festive flakes flying through the air. But for Christmas itself, that looks a little more interesting, and we'll have a look at that coming up for you here in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll be checking back. Thank you. Their ride to school took a scary turn. A Knox County school bus turned over, leaving several students with minor injuries. It happened on Big Beach Branch Road off Kentucky 223 near DeWitt. WKYT's Phil Pendleton spoke to firefighters who rushed to help the children, and he joins us now from Knox County, where it all happened. It's our top story at 4.
As you can see, this is a very narrow roadway, and a very wide school bus was traveling along this roadway about 7 o'clock this morning when we're told that somehow the ground over here gave way and the bus overturned. Parents tell us that the bus their children were on this morning is much larger than the bus that normally travels along this roadway. And this morning, the ground literally gave way and the bus plunged over the side of the gravel roadway. The bus driver and some of the middle school students helped the younger children get off the bus. They then walked about a half mile to a house and waited on emergency help. Firefighters said they didn't know what to expect when they got the call.
Yeah, you get paged out to different wrecks all the time, and it's not that, you think and worry about it, but then when you hear and know that kids are involved, it makes it that much more intense. We are told that at least one child on the bus was taken to the hospital. We're not exactly sure how that child is doing. The others were treated on the scene for scrapes and bruises and cuts. We're going to have a lot more coming up a little bit later on, but for now, in Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Phil, thank you. And coming up at 5 and 6, you'll hear from one of the students who was on the bus who helped some of her injured friends and young children. Well, progress is visible from the Center Point project in downtown Lexington, and now we're learning what's next. Developer Dudley Webb tells us that both large tower cranes are now up and running, standing more than 25 stories tall. The other smaller cranes that brought the big ones in left this morning. Over the next 2 to 3 weeks, crews will be installing plumbing and electric, then putting in gravel and concrete on top of that. Well, we're working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Sam?
Good afternoon, Barbara. A man accused of killing a Lexington teenager was in court today for sentencing. Police say that Ernest Wheeler shot 18-year-old Patrick Puckett at an apartment on Ryan Circle. Wheeler was charged with murder, but under the deal, he's pled guilty to manslaughter. We'll tell you how long Wheeler will spend in prison coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. The man who sparked a statewide Amber Alert involving a newborn baby still on the run this afternoon. 20-day-old Henry Flores was in the back seat of his mother's car when it was stolen outside of a Boone County gas station. The car was found 3 hours later at a gas station in Kenton County. Two women who knew about the Amber Alert spotted the stolen Volkswagen parked at a Marathon gas station and alerted police. We'll have the latest in the investigation to show you some newly released video coming up on WKYT News at 6 o'clock. Lexington family has lost all of their Christmas presents after a Grinch broke into the home and stole their gifts. Germana Sturgis says that someone broke into his home on West 7th Street last night. The gifts included an Xbox 360, toys, clothes, and shoes. Sturgis says the burglar didn't take anything else. Coming up on WKYT News at 5, you'll hear from the victim who is now scrambling to find his children some new Christmas gifts. And that's a look at some of the news in progress. Barbara, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. See you soon. Now to some of the stories making headlines across the nation at 4. It has been a busy year for President Obama, and he's promising to finish his final 2 years in office with a flourish. Ryan Nobles has more on the president's final word on 2014.
Hello. He's in the home stretch of his time in office, but President Barack Obama has no plans of slowing down.
My presidency is entering the fourth quarter. Interesting stuff happens in the fourth quarter.
The end of 2014 was bumpy for the Obama administration, with the GOP taking full control of Congress on Election Day. But that emboldened the president, who seems prepared to double down.
Pick any metric that you want. America's resurgence is real. We are better off.
Just since Election Day, the White House announced a sweeping change to federal immigration policy and an overhaul in U.S. relations with Cuba. But to fine-tune or extend either policy, it will require the help of Congress, a Congress that appears to have no interest in helping this president.
American people seem to have indicated last November that they've had about enough of this crowd and might want to go in a different direction.
Working together, though, may be a necessity. Threats around the world seem to be on the rise. Terrorists to cyber attacks like the one launched against Sony Pictures this week, blamed on North Korea. One that led the studio to pull the movie The Interview, a move the president criticized.
Do not get into a pattern in which you're intimidated by these kinds of criminal attacks.
One of many challenges that could dictate this president's legacy. In Washington, I'm Ryan Nobles reporting.
The president will now travel to Hawaii to celebrate Christmas with his family. Coming up on WKYT News at 4:30, we'll take a closer look at the United States' reaction to the cyber attack against Sony Pictures, including Hollywood's reaction. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel is getting a briefing this afternoon on the results of the Army's investigation into the disappearance of Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl from his base in Afghanistan in 2009. He ended up in the hands of the Taliban until he was turned over to U.S. Special Forces in May of this year as part of a prisoner exchange. The report could include recommendations on whether Bergdahl should be charged with any criminal violations or forced to leave the Army.